مرحبا كيف حالك؟ كله كويس 100% ما في مشكلة.
9 لغات 9 languages.
Really?
Okay, one of them the Arabic, which
No, Arabic is broken, but I understand, of course, Arabic, and it's kind of respected.
Okay. The big name, Thomas Cook. Who is Thomas Cook?
It's not a big name at the end. It's a very simple guy who was born in Germany, and he had a vision and a dream. When I was 2.5 years old, I always wanted to become a chef. That might not sound very logic because you don't know what you want to do. But I always stood with my grandmother in the kitchen with my mother, while my mother and grandmother, they wasn't professional chefs at all, but they cooked geniusly. According to what I ate in my youth times, I really had great pleasure in eating. I was a very big boy, and I ate maybe 5-6 times a day. Because for me, food was really nourishment. I ate at home. I finished home, I went to my grandma, I said, Grandma, my mama doesn't give me any food. Of course, I just was eating, so my grandma cooked again. And I always made it like this because it was only about 300-meter distance between the houses, so it was very nice. And then I said, I want to become a professional chef, I want to do an apprenticeship. And I was very lucky to be selected as a little dumb boy who knows nothing about cooking in one of the best places in Germany. And the chef I had, he was that time one of the best chefs in Germany and around the world. He was really a genius chef. Unfortunately, this guy died one day after I made my graduation as a chef in the age of 47 on his third heart attack. He was very eccentric. He was a superhero in the kitchen. I didn't have sometimes, the first year I think I was off only 4 days. I was working like a crazy. But he was very nice because I was working in the morning till the evening in this place. It was a very famous spa hotel, with diets or whatever, where all the politicians and very prominent people came to. And then he said, Booby, it means little boy. He did like this, Booby, what do you do tonight? Of course I go home sleeping. No. We go to school to work. And every night he gave lessons to adults. So I did his mise en place, I helped him, he was very nice to me, and of course the next morning I came to the kitchen. He became a superhero again, so that was the hard time. But he pushed me and he said, look boy, you go for competitions all the time. So every weekend, every second weekend, every third weekend, it depended when there was competitions, I had to go for a competition for 3 years when I was there. And it was very, very nice. Then I made my graduation. I graduated quite well. I graduated with A+. I had 98% from 100. And they said on that day when I made my apprenticeship certification, if this would have been my master degree cooking, I would have got a master on that day. It was really perfect. But I had the experience in doing so many competitions around the world. And then definitely I stayed about one and a half years more in Germany. I went to a super fine dining restaurant. I went to another very, very good hotel. And from there then I went abroad. I was living in 13 countries. I worked for a lot of famous groups. I became a corporate executive chef for worldwide operations, world market leaders. And after this, I went back to Germany because my children, they was in the right age to go actually nearly to school and to kindergarten. And then I stayed for another 7 years in Germany. I taught on a university school, on a very famous hotel business school for 7 years. And I was appointed as the coach for the German national junior team. These teams, they was very successful. They was 2-time Olympic winner. They won 2 times the culinary Olympics, the ICA. And I'm very thankful to the German Chef Association, which I worked for since 1982. I'm a member, by the way, and also in the World Organization since 1982, which enabled me to do this competition work all around the world. I was in a national team as a national coach, very successful. And then I got a very nice offer to go to the Arabic world. And Arabic world was for me very uncertain and unknown destination, even despite I traveled the world before. And I ended up in Saudi Arabia as a corporate executive, managed development, costing, pricing for that time the biggest airline in the Middle East, which was Saudi Airline. I worked for them 10 years, then I opened the only 7-star hospital in the world. I did this for 5 years, the Al Mashra, which was a stunning hospital. People said this hospital is, and they rated us 2-star Michelin-worthy food just for the appearance and the dedication we took for these people. And I was appointed, I never thought about becoming a continental director, but one person actually had to step down, and then the presidents from all around the region said, "Oh, come Thomas, you have so many good connections, you become a continental director." And then I became a continental director. I developed actually these 15 countries in 1.5 years, and I was doing this for altogether about 2.5 years. Which was very successful, which brought me definitely all around the globe, and I had about 200 till today, 220 flying days a year. Last year I was in 67 countries, and then coincidentally, in a way or another, I was in it was very funny, I was in Slovenia in 2013 when I was a continental director, and I was sitting on a golf cart together with 6 crazy chefs. They said, "You know, Thomas, we tell you one thing. You are the next world president." What? I said, "Come on, give me a break." Maybe they had too much milk or they eat too much sausages, something I thought not well in the head. But okay, no, you will see, you become the next world president. And one of the guys was Joseph Wesley, as you know him also very, very well. Arnie, Addison. We had a lot of Ray McHugh, a lot of our very, very good instructors and galleon figures of the industry. And really, it happened. We set up, we will run for the presidency. We had 3 teams which was running, and things good, and thanks to all the support which I got from all around the world, I became in 2016 the new world president. And since this, I'm very, very happy and lucky, and I'm thankful to all the chefs around the world that they gave me the trust. I believe we did a very good job. I have a fantastic board. I have a fantastic XCOM, which we created that from all around the world. And one of my main aims that time was to create new initiatives. And one of the main topics was to have one lady in every committee as well. And in the XCOM, which we have, the General Secretary, she is a lady. And I succeeded that in all the committees except of one. But we will get this also done, and I'm very happy for that. Definitely, I just can say cooking is passion, nourishment, and it's to live in it, to love with it, and to make people happy with food.
What this mustache? How it started? It's from the Arab world. It's because you like it. It's, you see it before. How? Tell us.
Okay, now for me that's a funny story. We go a little bit further back. If I would say something funny, I would say no, I was born with it, but it's not like that. But when I was about, I have my this one since I'm about 18 years, 19 years old.
Okay.
I always had this because my father had the same, my uncle had one. So I'm coming from a mustache family, and I believe a lot of not even eccentric people only, but people who move the world, especially in art, and cooking is a way in art, like Dali, for example. Yeah, they are really inspiring people. And I also believe it's a kind of a benchmark. It's a kind of a me. This is what I feel good with. And it was really funny when I went then to Saudi Arabia. I had the first one. Maybe you have to cut this. I said, I will not cut this. This is me. Yeah, I'm not asking you to cut your ears. I'm sorry. This is my identity. Because for them it was a bit strange. And then they said, no, it's okay. And I become well known as Shanabat Kabir. So at the end, the guy who is the guy with the mustache. And some of my chefs actually, which worked with me very close for years, they grow the same.
Yes.
So I have a lot of Syrians now, and from all around the Middle East, and they did the same. And then I said, of course, now I do something else. I do that one, and this trend is also coming. But I believe You have to have your own identity, your own fingerprints, and it's fun, simply fun.
One more thing you are doing, the middle stories.
Oh,
Stories, I said,
Okay.
because it start with you. Long time since I come to know you and we become
Friends,
closer and
yeah.
meeting. We meet each other in many competitions, and this is a very big opportunity for me. To be honest, so how's the story start with the medal? Now you are wearing
Now,
the
okay.
president, but let us talk
okay.
about how it started, because we remember the two medals you had before,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
really full of small
Pins
pins,
and- yeah.
and then we come to this.
Okay, now I started due to these fast travels all around the world to get honorary memberships and respected by chefs. And on these ribbons, which the big ones was, for me it was always crystal clear. There comes no sponsors on. There comes no pins on from any Tom, Dick and Harry business. There comes only pins on from associations which I visited, which I know, which I supported, and which I want to represent. So, in order to give them a kind of respect, it has been grown by 50, 100,000. It's
Yeah.
you know, it was,
Yeah.
and I have
How many kg?
this was 18 kg. It's a really big one, and the interesting thing is that I have lots of the chains at home because I always build new ones, and I respected this. And then one day someone said, "Wallah, Thomas, you know, that looks a little bit like a Christmas tree." I said, "Yes, that's true, but you never seen a talking Christmas tree." So that's the story to this one, and it inspired a lot of chefs around the
Yes,
world,
it did.
because now when you go to competitions, you see a lot of people having these ribbons. They become members of different associations, and they are very proud of that. And I believe it is nice to show the others the respect, to represent them, and to feel good with them, for them, and through them. And secondly, coming to this one, this thing is the President's Medal. It goes back to 1928. The first person actually who is on this ribbon as a founding member is Auguste Escoffier. And you all know Escoffier. Escoffier is one of the godfathers of getting cooking into professionalism by writing books like Bellabra, like many others, like Duke, like so in all the different countries around the world, this has been created. And here, all these small patches are all the past presidents, whichever was representing the World Organization since 1928.
Yeah, that's very good. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I know in your house, and so you have maybe 3 rooms full of trophies and medals and certificates. Of course, your office is full, and many other places. Always you travel with a small personal thing and many gifts and trophies and things that which we will love to give you, and they do. So, is there something very unique, very special between all that, or what's the plan for this?
Now-
We are going to see a museum, for
And
example.
this is what Madame always says. Whenever anyone comes in here, they feel like they're visiting a museum already. But for me, it's important actually to respect this token of appreciations, awards, medals, pokals, whatever it is, because to every piece there is a story.
Yes.
And I can tell you to every piece a story where it comes from, why, and so whatever. But for me, I think my most important medal I got was a gold medal and Expo Gast as a very young boy in Luxembourg. This was one of the top 3. It was Expo, it was ICA, and Basel. Then of course the culinary classics, and I believe then later came Singapore, it came Hong Kong, it came all the other countries. But that was for me, it goes back to 1986 where I was winning this, and I have the World Cup at home, several editions of the World Cup cups, and it's really nice. And it's interesting when people look at this and they say, this is crazy. How one guy can get so many things from all around the globe. But as I said, I'm a hunter and collector in many aspects, but I love my profession. I love this field because I believe it's the most fantastic profession. And even you say now I swapped the whole story. Now we come to your medal. You also have a very special medal here. I can hear. Yes. This is the Syrian medal, the Emirates.
I can say this is the most close to my heart because here, you know, when you don't expect something and it happens suddenly, then you feel that what you did is important. It's important for me. But then I feel it's really did something when other people is
happy about it.
Yeah, and they recognize it. So it's the president medal, but I will let him. It's an emotional thing. Huh? Can you tell the story? Actually, I don't know how you choose it.
Now
it carried the number 20. And it's a special medal from the president of the World Chef. So I took it last
in
KL in Malaysia, 2018, and it was a surprise. Actually, I don't know about it. When he started to talk on the stage, he's going closer. He's talking about our country, our competition, then my name. Okay, so. To be honest, maybe I did not tell you this before. When I was there, and people is coming because there was a few names before me, and I was just between my talking to myself. When is my turn? You know, because it's something you look for, you want to achieve and to do. So how you choose?
It's like this.
I don't know.
As a president, I can give 10 of these medals a year. I'm not giving 10 medals a year because I'm a little bit greedy on that. This has to be something very valuable for people who did something extraordinary and special for the industry. And this you got actually for the hard dedication over 2 years getting an association founded, which was nearly impossible to do. And you showed the will and the dedication, you continued that, you put up the flag of your country, and not that I'm a patriot, but you have to respect the efforts people are doing. And sometimes you see I give this to young people, I give this to old people, I give this to people I feel they really did something very extraordinary. And this is what makes me very, very happy because I believe this is the right way to do it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So much.
It's شغلة كبيرة كثير إنه يكون عندك صديق مثل الشيف المصري. لما كنت أنا أتسابق وأنا صغير أو أول ما بديت ككومي كان هو يكون على الستيج لحتى أنا آخذ ميدالية. شغلة كبيرة كثير إنك أنت تصير معه صداقة وتوصل لمرحلة. Thank you very much.
Welcome, and all the best to all of your viewers. Okay.